Okay, so we're here with Marcus Dyrus Hill, and
What's up?
why don't you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourself?
Um, I'm Dyrus. I'm white, Chinese, Cherokee. I play League of Legends and I specialize at Jackson Singed and I have a really low voice.
That's what you're known for.
Yep.
Okay, so you're a high elo League of Legends player, and since you've been playing League of Legends, how do you feel like the direction of the game has gone? Like, since it's gotten more popular and more competitive, do you feel that's good for the game, or do you feel like Riot might not be able to handle all the popularity?
They'll be able to handle it. They just gotta hire more and more people as they go. They're just getting bigger and bigger, and they're a growing company. And now would be a good time to learn how to play League or be really good at it, because then there's lots of opportunities for travel and such, because that's how Dota was for some people. And yeah,
Okay, what do you think the worst and best aspects of League of Legends are?
it's free for for the best aspect, and the worst is the announcer and some of the sounds and how they don't have like pause buttons and some features that are needed when it goes this big, and they should have the resources to support it too. So yeah, that's what I would say the worst aspect.
Do you feel like replays are a big part that should be needed, or not very much?
Not as much as pause and some other things like the sound and satisfaction when you get like a double kill. I don't want to hear an old lady tell me I got a double kill. I want to hear like a fucking Quake 4 voice or something, or Unreal voice, or like, you know what I mean.
Alright. So we should get a petition going for you to do some of the voice recordings, since you have a nice deep voice.
I started a petition for a different announcer, but I don't know
Oh,
about that.
just attach some of the sound files of you saying them.
It has to be a little edited and auto-tuned so it has that upper
Mhm.
fat sound feeling. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Okay, so you play League of Legends competitively. You've won. I think you've came fourth place in DreamHack. Um,
Yeah.
and you got money from that too. But do you have a career outside of gaming? And if so, what?
Before all this, I used to do intern plumbing. Otherwise, I would have went to the first WCG. What I'm looking for right now is, well, after that plumbing thing, I went on a vacation, and now I kind of pursued like, gaming and professional gaming, and I figured if that didn't work, then maybe I could go and try an intern for Riot and give it a shot.
Hmm.
Um, right now, I just want to get into the gaming scene and try to see what I can do to help to make gaming grow, because I love video games and
Yeah.
such.
Are you gonna
And
try Are you gonna try Dota 2?
yeah, I'm gonna try Dota 2. It's probably just gonna be the same, but it's just different graphics, and
Hmm.
yeah.
Did you play Dota or?
I played Dota. I played lots of Dota. I played it since the first custom game it's ever came out with, before Dota All Stars and all this bullshit with balancing and such.
I used to play like the original Warcrafts, like 1, 2, stuff like that.
Yeah, me
Those were
too.
fun games.
Yeah.
Okay, so why League of Legends? Why not Dota or Han or World of Warcraft even? What made you pick League?
Um, when I played when I played League, I mean when I played Dota a lot, I played it like over thousands of times, just like League, and it got boring because I live in Hawaii, and the ping, it's there's no dedicated servers or anything. The ping hurts. There's lots of trash talk in Dota, and it's hard to get recognized out there. But in League, it's like there's a rating system. It's its own game. There's like servers. There's summoners with their levels. Like you have something to look forward to. IP to buy, champions to buy. It's free, and there's lots of different features to it that just kept me coming back to it. The different champions, unique, the story, the lore, like everything they have in League. It just like when I tried to quit League, I came back to it like a month later because I was so addicted to it. So There's so many good things about this game, and there's always room for improvement too.
Hmm. Yeah, like I've gotten to multiple solo queue games, had feeders, and be like, oh, I'm done with this game. This game's dumb, and you just get feeders every time, and then I'll have like a day where I don't play, but then I guess like, oh, that might have been that day. I'll try again, and then you just keep coming back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, have you ever played other games besides League competitively? Obviously, you said Dota, and are there any others though? Like, have you played WoW or?
Not really. Wow, I just got to 60 and then 70, then 80, and then I was like, I just stopped. That's not my style. I can't get into it
Uh,
because it's also the competitive scene there. It's really competitive. There's way too many people, and but when it's League, it's like it's not as many people. It's kind of easier, and when you compare League to Dota, and you don't have to focus on denying your own creep, it just feels easier and more like it's not as easy
it's
as
more laid
Dota. It's
back.
just yeah, it's more beginner type because when I first played the game,
Looks like we have some
it's like,
connection.
oh,
Oh, never
recommended
mind.
item.
We're having some connection problems.
Mm.
Oh, okay, we're back.
But
Okay,
yeah,
so you've mentioned multiple times now that you've played Dota. Were you any good? Were you competitive, like up there, like League of Legends, or?
I played some like the DX3 D League or whatever, and I was one of those people in Dota where you just have that one player who pub stomps everyone, and I was that guy. I just never really got into a competitive scene with
Mm,
it because I'm at school and I didn't have time to dedicate to it.
hmm. Um, so what are some hobbies outside of your League of Legends life that you enjoy doing?
Hanging out with friends, basketball, reading a book, watching TV. I never watch TV anymore. More video games, lots of more video games, Xbox, PS3. I love food, and
Everybody loves food.
yeah, I love food. I love to exercise. Well, not as much anymore because I'm lazy. And then, yeah, I just like to have fun.
Okay. So does your family slash friends support your gaming devotion, or do they encourage
Um,
you to
they're
do
they're
something
not
else?
against it. They're not against it. It's just, they like my dad's side for he wanted me to do plumbing. The only reason why he would be against it is because he wanted me to do his plumbing job for my own good, but I just couldn't get into it. I just played video games since I was 3, so then um, my mom is okay with it. She thinks it's amazing that I actually got to go to Sweden for free and all that, and earn money and actually have it as some kind of job. And she's still kind of worried for me, but that's what moms are.
Hmm. Okay, so what type of music do you like? I know you play a lot of techno on your stream.
I like everything to be honest, just whatever sounds good. It doesn't really matter what genre, but if I were to say which genre sounded like most appealed to me, then I'd probably say the techno side. Otherwise, like certain songs that I play on my stream sometimes.
Okay, so what are 2 to 3 interesting things about yourself that people don't know from watching your stream?
Um, I guess I'm kind of tall, and I don't know, like not everyone
How tall are you?
notices that. Um, I'm 6'4", like that may be average for most people in North America, but in Hawaii that's pretty
Yeah,
tall.
it's still pretty
Certain days
tall
I
in North America.
oh okay, but yeah, lots of short Asian people here in Hawaii. So then and I'm just lots of people that they don't hear my voice and say I'm playing with them. They don't know how I am at first glance. Although I'm trolling really hard in game, I'm just trying to have fun. I have feelings too, even though I sound like a robot sometimes.
Mm,
Um, when I get mad at people, it's usually not because I'm really mad at them. It's just I'm really irritated at myself, and I get uh It's just one of those rage moments, and then when I talk in Ventrell, it's a whole different story, though.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Okay.
I don't know what to say about that.
So do you know any other languages besides English?
Uh, no, I know a
No.
little bit of Japanese, but that's about it.
Did you take any in school or?
Yeah, I took Japanese
Oh,
class, and I also watch a lot of anime and such.
that's pretty cool. So what's your favorite food? You said you love food. So what's your favorite?
Steak.
Steak.
Yeah.
What did you want to be when you were growing up, or did you want to be a,
When I was
or yeah, what did you want to be?
when I, when I was little, I wanted to be a cop because you watch TV and it's like, oh yeah, get all the bad guys, yay,
And
and
how?
stuff. And I wanted to be a cop, but then I just wanted to go to college for something involved, anything involved with computers or video games. Like no matter what kind of job it was, even if it was a shitty video game testing job where you get paid like minimum wage, I would do it just because I love video games so much. Like when I look for, like when people look for a job, like I know it's not that easy in the world, and sometimes you gotta go for the jobs with money, but I feel like you would get burnt out if you did a job where you can't enjoy it, and unless you have something like a purpose, like you have to support a family or something, then I'd rather do what you love to do.
Okay, so basically computers and doing what you love.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I'm gonna list some players, some other high elo League of Legends players, and you can give me your serious or silly opinions about them. Okay.
Okay.
So first is Dandin.
Out of everyone, I respect him the most in League of Legends ever since day one, since I've seen him. I don't know, for some reason, I just respected him for his passive attitude and trying to help everyone out and such. And he's been underrated for so long. And after DreamHack, I think and Starstream, he's finally getting the recognition he deserves.
Yeah, he gets about like 3K viewers on his stream, just as much
Yeah.
as Chowx, who's been known for good play. So,
Yeah,
um,
before he used to get like 200, 300,
hmm
but now he's finally getting people.
Hot Shot, GG.
I used to play a lot of free games with him, and then he got super popular out of nowhere, and I had the intern plumbing job, so I kind of stepped down from that area where I could have been super popular as him, and also even with my shit internet, um, he's a really good guy. He may sound, I don't know if people look at him in a bad way. It's all reasonable if he explains it to you. There's a reason for that. He looks at things really intelligently. He's very funny. Um, he's just a he can be a douche sometimes, but he's a cool guy overall. Um, he Before he could only really play Nidalee, but now he's kind of like he has this theory where there's heroes you can do good with, and then there's heroes you can rape the other team with, and for him that's Nidalee. Um, yeah.
Okay. So speaking of Hot Shot, GG, we'll go back to the some of the other people in a second, but he played Jax pretty well in the IEM, and some people are comparing your Jax to his Jax. So how do you feel about that?
I don't really care. People who've known who I was in closed beta, I played Jax. I All I did was play Jax. Right now I'm kind of sloppy with him because I haven't been playing him as much. But I know Jax inside out, and when I saw him get Mercury treads, there's some reasoning it for it, but like cost efficiency, you have to get Tabby unless they all have CC, and if they all have CC, then you should be building tank Jax anyways. Um, the reason why you get Ninja Tabby over Merc Treads is not only because of cost efficiency, but because it goes into your ultimate. It may not seem like that much, but that little bit of MR goes a long way if you use your ult properly. Although it's not going to go for the entire fight. That's when you have items like Gunblade, and then you go with Banshee's Veil. And he played it. He played exactly like how I would play. People think he just farms away all game. There's a purpose for that. He has a similar play style of mine since we've played with each other a lot back in the day, and I like to farm a lot. He likes to farm a lot. If he put like that's the same thing for the Singe playing style for, except I get teleport. So I like heroes like Pantheon TF, so I can just teleport into the fight and I can just farm a lane all day. But that's what he kind of does with Cho'Gath. So we kind of have the similar viewpoints for that. His Jax he has the mindset, but he doesn't have like the basic. He doesn't have like every single detailed mechanic to where you jump, you hit, and then you press W. What he did was he jumped and then pressed W, which would be the same as jumping with W, pretty much.
Yeah.
Other than making your attack speed faster. But there's some situations to where that would be better than others, and I wouldn't be able to explain that. That's something you'd have to learn from experience from playing that hero and such.
Okay, so back to the players. How do you feel about Double Lift?
He's a nice guy. I feel like he he does some pretty dumb things, but he's a nice guy. He's really good at blitz. He needs to have more confidence in himself when he does some things. He has a lot more talent and raw skill and mental thinking than he thinks. He he underestimates his best hero, Blitzcrank. Usually you would say the person who plays him knows him best, but I still feel like Blitz is still viable and competitive play. Him as a person, um, he's a really nice guy. He helps out people, and he needs to he needs to have a chill pill when he goes into tournament play because he gets super nervous.
Was he nervous during DreamHack?
Yeah, I tried patting him on the back several times, and he's I can't tell if he's calm or serious. Like even in the picture, his hands weren't in his pocket. So I don't know. That's just how he is. That's how we all are when we grow up, and that's who we are.
Mm-hmm. How about Reggie Bro or Reginald?
He's a he. Me and him have been trolling each other since the beginning of time, and we've known each other for so long. We know other people that played this game like Cheesy. Not no one would really know who that is, but me, him, Dan, Messiah, way back, Takashi X, and several other players back in the day. We go a long way in video games. He's a really cool guy. He's funny. He he's learned to really enjoy the game over the years and have lots of fun. And I hope he really goes far.
Some people say he's the caster, like he's like as far as the U.S. servers go, like he's the best caster, and he can just like rape his lane because of his
Oh yeah, yeah.
aggressiveness.
He only
Do you think that's
only let
like?
him solo middle. Don't let him go anywhere else.
Oh, okay, so
Only solo middle.
okay.
That's what he's the best at. If he plays like any tank, just don't let him do it. Oh my God. Like even now today, back then he played Rammus once, and I was like, oh my God, dude. He really he can't do it. He could do it if he practiced, but I'd rather have him just solo middle.
Yeah. So like back to what I was saying, like people like say he is like the AP caster, like because of his aggressiveness. That's how a caster is supposed to be. Do you think he's kind of overrated, or like of
No,
people giving him all that credit, or do you think that he like actually just
no, he
earned?
knows every single mechanic and he does most things perfectly. Only flaw in his playstyle is for players who play him a lot or notice he's very aggressive. And even though he says he's not going to be aggressive, there's no way he can't stop doing that. It's just his habit, and I have a habit of farming, even though I know someone's ganking me, so I know he's not overrated. He's definitely the best of the best since the start. Um, yeah, like he may not be top in ranked ladder, but that's because he doesn't really care as much.
Yeah, well, he used to be.
Um, yeah, he used to be, and then I got to the top two, and I just kind of like trolled and didn't really care as much. There's certain players that just figured out the ladder like Big Fat, um, Ha- or sometimes it gets lucky too.
Mm-hmm. Um, Hold on one second. Your webcam seems to be frozen. Oh, alright, let me try to restart the call here. Okay, I think that's, yeah. And the last player is Saint Vicious.
Saying is Saint makes me feel like a kid. He knows a lot of stuff in life, and he's probably one of the oldest out of all the high level gaming people. He's a cool guy. How to explain him? I don't know. We're just on friendly terms, and hang out in his van, and he's funny, and he's a lot. He knows a lot about jungling, and he's pretty much a jungler for CLG, other than Kobe.
Hmm.
Um,
Who's benched right now, I think.
yeah, he hasn't been practicing that much.
Okay, and then actually one more player I'm gonna put in here, Loco Doco.
Oh man, Loco. He was my motivation for solo queue. If he was in front of me for ladder, I would play solo queue and I would stop trolling. And usually I have like emergency Singe games. When that happens, I just play Singe like every game just to get ahead in front of him, and then I'll just go AFK on the ladder, or I'll eventually forget and troll about it. Loco's a nice guy. He would be in the term to he's on the more feminist side, as you would say. Um, he's very funny and very intelligent, and yeah, I can't think things right away at the top of my head when it comes to these things. I would have to think about
Hmm.
for a while. But yeah, that's the gist of it.
Yeah. Um, does he have school now or something? Because I know I used to watch his stream a lot because he one of my favorite streamers, but then he just stopped randomly.
A lot of it, he's always had school. A lot of it has to do with his own emotions and whatever happened in the past. And I'm not gonna go into that. So,
Okay. So now it's come to a 1 minute rant. You can ask me questions. You can say anything you want about League of Legends, about other people. You can do whatever. You have 1 minute, or let's make it a minute 30 seconds, and not exactly, obviously, but yeah. So go ahead.
um, I wasn't really expecting this. I guess the audio and the sound in the game sucks. Sometimes, like, not all of it sucks, but it needs to have more features like Misfortune Singed, their laugh, the taunts, the dances, the jokes. Um, I think the first WCG, if I didn't have an intern plumbing job, then I'd probably be up there somewhere near closer to Hotshot GG in popularity. And if I had a better internet and didn't live on an island in the
Um,
middle of fucking nowhere. Hmm?
so for the first WCG, you said you would have been like up there or whatever it is you were saying. Like, what team would
I was
what team, were you on CLG or?
I would be on EG
Uh,
because no one asks me to be on their team, but me and Dan, we just play for fun, and he doesn't take it as seriously. But
was EG created then, or would you guys have created it for WCG, or were they at WCG?
there EG was at
Uh,
WCG. Um, the reason why EG was made is because Dan doesn't like to play with Andy on the same team. But when they are on the same team, they don't argue. They just pretty much stomp everyone out because they go on walks and they have lunch together and such. Um, the reason why I say we would have won is because we had players like Excessive or something, and I heard they pulled off some really shady shit that fucked over the team on the roster. And if I didn't have that intern plumbing job, then I would have time to play with them. And back then, I'm not saying it to brag, but even actually all mostly of all time, I think I've been a top player. Like I've been at the top at whether it would be with Jax or Singed. It doesn't matter how many heroes I could play. If it was just certain heroes, it was good enough to where, and it still is good enough to where you can ban them out. And if my team let me, I would just play those heroes all the time until they banned them, because it's I played them so much to a level where it doesn't really matter the team comps and all that. That all to me that doesn't mean shit to me because I'd rather have it like to where you play the hero you're comfortable with, you don't make mistakes, you play smart, you're gonna win.
Yeah.
And whatever hero you're having the most fun with, you're gonna usually win. You're gonna enjoy it because when you're having fun, you're also getting kills, and that's my theory. And also the tank meta game, I would make everyone on my team a tank pretty much.
So that's like a lot of people said that you guys lost in DreamHack because because Doublelift wasn't on Blitz a lot and you weren't on Singed or Jax a lot. Like,
This is true.
yeah.
This is true. But the other reason why is because we were really unprofessional. I'm not gonna lie about this. We were all unprofessional about this. The DreamHack thing. There was a time Dan showed up 10 minutes before. We never got any warm-up matches. That means a lot to me, and it should mean a lot to every player getting in a warm-up match, even if it's like a normal game. Those last hits when you first play and you first wake up, you're not going to be as good as you can because League is a mental game. Um, the big like on the first day we were all serious about it, and the problem with me on support, I wanted to run Blitz Singe bot, but Doublelift just he just keeps putting it off, and then when the real match comes, it's like, oh, you never mentioned it, and that's what pissed me off. You know, um, Westeros and Doublelift have like tunnel vision because it's a competitive scene. They're really nervous. You can really tell by the sound of their voice and how they're shaking. The biggest reason why we lost is because of that stupid. Well, not the biggest, but one of the reasons that contributed a large amount was when that Alienware laptop overheated during the Fnatic game, and I was doing really well, and then that was a I choked sometimes with Jarvan, and so we didn't win that match. And then what happened? What that match did for us is the flow of the game. Um,
Yeah, the momentum.
yeah, it was impossible for us to win. Even in the next game when we had Baron middle and hip pushed, we just went all middle and died. It was really stupid. Everyone was all in the hype in the moment. We had no mental control in the game, and people see that as like, wow, they could have won it. But we were just trying to have fun, and we weren't mentally prepared, I suppose. Um, and that's a big part of the competitive play, no matter how good you are.
hmm Okay, so that's all the questions I have. Are there any final words, thoughts, or shoutouts you'd like to give?
For shoutouts, I give too many of them. Just to everyone I know, whoever thinks of me in that sense, like let's say V-Man or Tom or Dan, Pure Golden Boy, all those people that think about me. It's all out to those people that out of either like Bryden7 or Mokuza or MacNoon, or just all those people in general. And final thoughts, just keep playing League and have fun. And when things happen, there's a limit to how much you can do. Just do what you can and try to have no regrets.
hmm Okay, well, thanks for being on the interview, which is kind of your own website's interview, I guess. So you were the first one to be interviewed, and yeah, so thanks for letting me interview you, and I guess that's it.